The last race of the day. Race number 159. We've watched 3,000 athletes, 110 schools compete, and we're down to one last race.
Well, there's been so many exciting races today. It's hard to say what crew you think is going to win, because all of the crews in the final have had success in some way or another.
Absolutely correct.
Lane 1 is the University of Virginia, always a strong program. In lane 2 is Delaware. Lane 3 is St. Joe's. Lane 4 is Temple. Lane 5 is Colgate. Lane 6 is Michigan. You've got a very, very strong field that is going to give us a great race in a matter of a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And you know, you got the St. Joe's, the Temple, lane 3 and 4. Obviously, they're the fastest crews coming out of their semifinals to be placed in those two events. But Delaware and Michigan, we know their history. They're in the thick of it all the time, and at Virginia too. So, I mean, it's a great field for us and spread across the country. Very, very exciting.
Well,
got three local programs, Delaware, St. Joe's, and Temple. There's got to be a lot of people come to the shore to watch those. This is the men's varsity heavyweight 8, the Richard O'Brien Trophy, the last event of the 80th Vail Regatta, sponsored by Jefferson Vail Regatta.
Well, crews have been training all season for this race. At the conclusion, there's going to be great elation by a few crews and, you know, dissatisfaction.
But
sadness by some, because they have hoped and worked so hard for this moment to win the Vail Regatta.
And this will be the last race, maybe of their collegiate career, maybe the last race of their lifetime. I mean, we have all walked away from this race course with fantastic thoughts, and to win this regatta is outstanding, but just to be able to compete in it is terrific.
I know that once they've had time to think about the fact that they were able to make the grand final of the men's varsity 8 at the Vail, that they'll feel good about it. I was never fortunate enough in my college days, but this is a great, great field of teams representing great institutions throughout America. Now they're still relaxed on the line. They're still relaxed. You know, they don't want to have too much nerves. But now Virginia is ready to go.
They're primed. They're ready to go here. They're sitting ready. There they go.
And they're off. So the final race of the Vail Regatta, the men's varsity heavyweight 8, is off. And you've got a strong start by all the crews.
Again, as we switch here, we've got Virginia on the top right corner, Delaware in lane 2, St. Joe's in the middle of the course, with Temple Crimson Oars with a T in lane 4, Colgate in lane 5, and Michigan on the left-hand side of the screen in lane 6. Anything coming out there in the first few strokes to make any difference there? They look coming like they're coming off very, very evenly.
Well, Temple in lane 4 is really conscious of where they are in relation to St. Joe's, and Temple has moved up on St. Joe's, so as they go through the turn, they'll have an advantage, a distinct advantage. That is if St. Joe's doesn't come back on them. So that's what you see in lane 5 and 6. They're really hugging the shore over there as if there is an advantage to be close. But in lane 4, Temple really is looking solid. Some of the crews on the inside are pulling up now, like Delaware's coming up on St. Joe's. Delaware is coming back a little, as is Virginia is holding solid on the field, still in strong contention to do well.
I have Temple at 40 strokes a minute, a rating of 40 at the 500-meter mark, so they've gone out to make a statement.
Yeah, they're making the turn now, and of course Temple is in lane 3. Temple is through. Temple is cleared. Temple is trying to just move out on one of their top competitors, St. Joseph. So Temple has a nice turn through the bridge in lane 4. Temple is leading the field right now.
Again, 41 for Temple.
There's, I don't know if any program has won the Vail Regatta more than Temple. I would imagine maybe some of my LaSalle friends would say that they have. But there's a strong history with the Temple Varsity 8.
St. Joe's 40 1/2 rate of striking.
St. Joe's has moved it up. Each crew has its strategy. Each crew knows how they row best. It's not whether you're ahead at the 500 or under the bridges. It's where you are.
But there should be a limit of how high that rating can go through this part of the race, but they keep pushing that envelope every year. I mean, here they are at 40 strokes a minute for the first 1,000.
Well, as they go by the 1,000-meter mark, it looks like Temple definitely has a lead. And in second spot, it's really close between St. Joe's and Colgate. Very close, with Colgate having the advantage over St. Joe's. So in second place is Colgate. In the lead right now is Temple University. Temple's rate of striking is right at 37.5 strokes per minute, just really clipping along. St. Joe's is right up there as well. St. Joe's is not going to let their team be beaten by a higher stroking crew. So Temple's looking really strong.
They're still at 40.
Out at front at 40. That's exceptional. They're going to cover this race course in record time today. So you have Temple University in lane 4 with a clear lead over Colgate, followed by St. Joe's. St. Joe's is making a big move to pull back on them. Temple's rating right now, Brad, is...
I'll give it to you right this second, and it's at 38, so it's dropped a bit, maybe a little settled to gather themselves for the last effort. But look at St. Joe's coming up on that lane 3.
St. Joe's is really crisp. But
and Temple, on the outside, you've got Colgate.
Temple is solid. Temple still has a linked lead over St. Joe's. St. Joe's is trying to move back.
Temple back to 40 strokes a minute. They were down just for 10 strokes.
Second spot. And the third spot is very close between Delaware and Colgate.
42 for Temple.
Temple's got the lead by over a length. A lot of Temple fans here. Colgate is just
39 for Colgate.
Colgate is up to 40 strokes per minute coming after Temple. Colgate is within a length. Colgate is now 42 strokes per minute, trying to
41 for Temple.
Up to 43 strokes per minute now, matching Colgate. Colgate's now up goes St. Joe's, a little too late. Temple's going to row to victory in the final race, the men's Varsity 8 race, to recapture the Varsity 8 event. Looks like Colgate finished a close second. Colgate, you can see there is excitement on with them, with water splashing up because they did so well, have come so far to compete at such a high level. St. Joe's surely wanted to win this, but they rode exceptionally well in finishing third.
Well, Bill, what a wonderful conclusion of the 80th running of the Jefferson Vail Regatta. Fantastic races. I was so thrilled with yesterday's races, the parity that we saw. 3 boats coming to the line through the semifinals and the heats. Unprecedented. We saw quads for the first time. We saw para rowing where we had an adaptive rower come down the course in a single. Just a wonderful, wonderful event. And Bill, I want to thank you for sharing our time together, and hopefully we helped the public.
Well, really